If it's access you want, then you've got it on thefloridachannel.org. You'll find access to live streams of state government meetings, access to our growing archive section of past events, and access to the latest state government news with Capitol Update, one-on-one interviews with policymakers on Florida Face to Face, as well as access to our award-winning documentary series, Florida Crossroads. thefloridachannel.org. It's another way the Florida Channel provides Floridians access to their state government, anytime, anywhere. Let's face it, social media is an ever-growing part of our world, changing how we connect and how we engage. That's why the Florida Channel also shares programming content through social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter, connecting users with what's going on in state government and engaging viewers with visual and meaningful content that you can't find anywhere else. So find out for yourself if you haven't already. Follow and like us, the Florida Channel, connecting Florida for more than 20 years.
Layer, which we now suspect and basically can demonstrate are Holocene and Pleistocene, modern era and Ice Age dirt. Just off the back of where we're standing here, just off those poles.
Paleontology, the study of ancient animals and plants. Archaeology, the study of human history using artifacts. When those two interests ran headlong into each other at the Vero site, Hemming says all hell broke loose.
Right here, 460 feet west of the railroad, down at the water level, there's a real famous picture of the open excavation. There's a gentleman standing in the water.
It goes slowly. It is a breathtakingly tedious process that appeals to individuals who are frankly demented.
Dr. Adavasio himself developed many of those exacting techniques at the Meadowcroft Paleo-Indian site in Pennsylvania starting in 1973. By then, a new theory had replaced Hurlichka's. It was called Clovis first, the idea that people from Asia crossed into the Americas late in the Ice Age, so many, moving so quickly, they hunted all the mammoths and mastodons and saber-toothed cats into extinction.
Wakotahachie Wetlands in Palm Beach County is home to the wood stork, the only stork native to North America. Another preserve that aims to keep development from encroaching on wildlife is the Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary. Located near Naples in southwest Florida, the sanctuary has been ranked within the top 5 sites for birding in the country. Another great Florida birding and wildlife trail site that's a favorite is FWC's own Chinsegut Conservation Center near Brooksville. Some people could get lost trying to find another site on the Great Florida Birding and Wildlife Trail, also owned by the state. North Florida's Big Bend Wildlife Management Area is off the beaten path, 6 miles and then some down a gravel road south of Perry. So what goes into making good beer? It's a process that's both simple and complex at the same time. Simple because at a basic level, beer is made with just 4 ingredients: water, grain, typically barley, a plant called hops, and yeast. It can get complex, though, as various combinations of those ingredients create different tastes, colors, and aromas. As we learn touring the various breweries, the process begins in a container called a mash tun. That's where malted grain is soaked in hot water and enzymes break down to create a sugary substance known as wort. The water and grains are discarded, and the wort is then moved to a kettle where it's brought to a boil. Brewers then add the hops, which work as a sort of bittering agent, and sometimes fruits, spices, or flavor extracts. The liquid is then moved to a fermenter, where yeast is added. The yeast consumes the sugars and in the process expels carbon dioxide and alcohol. The amount of time required in the fermenter varies depending on the type of beer, but generally it's 1 to 3 weeks. Next, the beer is transferred to another tank where it gets carbonated. After that, it's bottled or put in kegs and shipped off to a bar or store or served in brewery tap rooms.
Mississippi had already sued the tobacco industry on similar public health grounds, but it did not have a law like Florida's helping its case. But Mississippi, Minnesota, and West Virginia soon joined Florida's so-called dream team of lawyers sharing information and courtroom tactics.
To simplify the formula, companies take the value of all their assets, all their power plants and lines, for instance, deduct depreciation, multiply that by the guaranteed rate of return the state gives them, add expenses, and that's what customers pay for their energy.